On Friday, August 14th, 2026, Luigi Mangione pleaded guilty in federal court in Manhattan to 2 counts of stalking resulting in death, admitting that he shot and killed UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson outside a Midtown hotel in December 2024. It's a major turn in a case that has drawn national attention for 2 years, not just because of the killing itself, but because of the wave of public sympathy Mangione has attracted since his arrest. Mangione, now 28, entered what's known as an open plea, meaning there's no deal with prosecutors. He pleaded guilty to all pending counts in the federal indictment, but the U.S. Attorney's Office has made clear they're still free to push for the maximum sentence, which is life in prison without parole. During his allocution, the formal statement a defendant makes when pleading guilty, Mangione described how he posed as a potential investor, claiming to manage over $50 billion in assets, using that cover to email UnitedHealthcare and confirm the location of an investors' conference so he could track Thompson's whereabouts. He told the court plainly that his trip to New York and that email were made with the intent to shoot Thompson. Thompson's family was in the courtroom for the hearing. Mangione had pleaded not guilty in both his federal and state cases up to this point. His federal charges once included a count that could have carried the death penalty, but that charge, along with an additional firearms charge, was dropped back in January 2026. His defense team's strategy appears to hinge on what comes next. Minutes after the plea, his lawyer, Karen Friedman Agnifilo, said they had filed a motion in New York State Court, arguing that the state murder and weapons charges against him should be dismissed under New York's double jeopardy protections. The idea is that since he's now pleaded guilty in federal court to conduct tied to Thompson's killing, prosecuting him again for the same killing at the state level may not be allowed. Legal experts caution this is far from a settled matter. Double jeopardy law is complicated here, and prosecutors in the Manhattan DA's office have said they intend to fight the motion. The state trial is currently scheduled to begin September 8th, 2026, though that timeline could shift depending on how the double jeopardy fight plays out, possibly even heading to an appeals court. Sentencing in the federal case is set for December 18th, 2026. Because there's no plea agreement, the outcome is entirely up to the judge. Mangione's guilty plea does not guarantee any particular sentence. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch spoke outside the courthouse, framing the plea as a moment of accountability and pushing back directly against the online admiration Mangione has received, saying that violence isn't a cause and that a killer isn't a hero. That reaction speaks to the unusual dimension of this case. Mangione has become something of a folk figure online, and an independent fundraiser supporting his legal defense has pulled in more than $1.5 million. Prosecutors and law enforcement have repeatedly pushed back against that narrative, throughout the case. Luigi Mangione has now admitted in his own words to killing Brian Thompson. But this isn't necessarily the end of the legal story. It may just be the opening move in a much more complicated legal fight over whether he can still be tried and punished at the state level, too. Watch for the double jeopardy ruling and the September state trial date as the next things to track. This video is for informational purposes. This is an active and evolving legal case. Details may change as new rulings and hearings occur.